Some might say it never rains, but it pours, of course, for the one-time royal known as Meghan Markle. That's right, because as we all know, she had that massive fallout with a one-time chum that could have been very useful for her. That was, of course, Victoria Beckham. The word that the kids use, as you know, is the fashionista. The wife, of course, is the former international footballer David Beckham. And what really was, when you think about it, just a stupid fallout once again escalated with Prince Harry not being allowed to remain friends with David, even though they've been close for many years. But the thing about revenge is it always comes around in the end, doesn't it? It's like the dish best served, you know, the sort of thing. And now for Harry and Meghan, as they found out, they're not the king and queen anymore of the streaming giant Netflix. They've been replaced by another king and queen, that is David and Victoria. That's all thanks to the Emmy nominations for their docu-series. And now, as I told you previously, Victoria signed on the dotted line for her own show detailing all about her rise of a fashion empire, being very honest about how difficult it's been, the fact that it didn't take off, the money losses, that sort of stuff. Some people say the money losses could have been attributed to the fact, of course, that when you think about it, she loaned quite a few clothes out to people in the hope that she'd get some publicity, including Meghan Markle. What happens next? Let me explain. Hi, good to see you. Thank you so much for your time. By the way, it's happened. Have you noticed it? Yes. I've already seen Christmas decorations in a shop. And I wanted to ask this, at what point is too early? And do you still have all of your old Christmas decorations that you bring out time and time again? I think they're far more authentic. And who remembers as well, while we're at it, when you were at school, do you remember how they used to get you to make Christmas decorations that you would take home and your mum begrudgingly had to put them up no matter how bad they were? Do you remember? And you know, you suddenly made a chain for the cards or something like that. Who still hangs cards up in their room? Do you still put streamers in the ceiling, that sort of stuff? Or is it all more now subdued and a little bit more glitzy? You know, the sort of thing I'm talking about. Yes, I'd love to know, because as I say, I saw it in not one actually, but two shops, and I thought, it's August, it's just too early. Now, is it ever too early though for revenge? Oh yes. This is because, as we now know, Meghan, Harry, David and Victoria were chummy, even went to their wedding, and of course, like so many people that attended the wedding of Harry and Meghan, you imagine now watching that video and saying, not friends with them, no, we don't speak to them, no, can't have them back. What about the cast of Suits? I mean, none of them. Well, it was a good day out for them, as it was George Clooney, but that's about it, isn't it? That's the end of it, as it were. Now, where it gets really interesting is this, because as we know, literally Victoria has now signed this deal, and I've been told from an excellent source that she will be addressing some of the people that were less than kind about her fashions, the starting point, and of course some of the feuds that she's actually had to encounter, true and not. Now, this is really what sells, as I've told you before. Harry and Meghan's docu-series only sold because of the gossip angle. That's what people liked. They didn't care about anything else. And Victoria and David are very savvy. You know, they know that they will have to touch on this, particularly now, of course, that David's become an ambassador for His Majesty the King. Very good relationship built in there. But moving forward for Netflix, we'll want this, you see, because they will know that this is what the public want to hear. Now, we've only really heard one side of the story about how, according to the Sussexes, the Beckhams were leaking stories out. Truly, that wasn't the case. But now, Victoria, Emmys possible in hand, and a brand new deal. They are the king and queen of Netflix. Netflix need their pound of flesh. Victoria knows how to work the media to her own ends, and if she alludes to anything, right now, that's exactly what they want. Netflix are truly rubbing their hands. The relationship between them and Harry and Meghan is at an all-time low. What started off as a great signing has now become something of a great bore, and for them moving forward, they've got to prove it all with one or two shows if they ever hit the screen. Victoria's is all set to hit the screen incredibly soon. Bet you can't wait. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.